Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. Anytime I say hey guys, he's just like, this is my time to shine. This is my video. Welcome to another video, guys. Today is a highly requested one from the TikTok fam, actually. So I have been asked over and over and over again about my tattoos, so I decided I would finally do a full in-depth tattoo tour for you guys. I have like a short version on my TikTok, but that doesn't really like explain anything. It doesn't really show anything very well. So I will do that for you guys here. Let's go in order of, I guess, when I got them. And we'll do a little story time for the ones that deserve a story time. So first things first is going to be this one. Everybody has their first tattoo. It's not that great. You can kind of see here the R was changed. So the story behind this one, which I would highly not recommend anybody do, ever. But I was in high school. I was not yet 18. I think I was a senior. I didn't turn 18 until I graduated senior year of high school. But my friend's friend was an apprentice tattoo artist. So he was kind of just like practicing, things like that. And then just one day we were over at the friend's house and he pulls out his tattoo gun and he's like, hey, do you guys like want tattoos? It would be free. And we're kind of like, you know what? Screw it. All right. So we're in this guy's bedroom getting tattooed and I'm like, what should I get tattooed? And for me, like I am Spanish, French, like I have a couple different nationalities in me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get a word in one of these languages. And so I landed on truth. But being 17 and really dumb, I decided that truth in French with a plural with like an S at the end just looked cooler. So I have in French truths, vérités, tattooed on my wrist. Truths. If that's the actual translation, I don't know. I never cared to like truly look it up again. I was just like, I'd rather not know. But that is the story behind that one. I thought about getting it removed, but because I have so many other tattoos, I'm really just like, I don't care, to be honest with you. It's not that noticeable. So that's that. Don't recommend. I always recommend doing your research and going to a real tattoo artist and a real clean, healthy tattoo parlor. So don't follow in my footsteps. Maybe just avoid that. Second tattoo is going to be, I don't know if it'll show very well, but it says 1997 in this like faded sublime looking sun. So this one I was actually legal. I was actually 18. I went with my mom and my brother to a tattoo shop on my 18th birthday, and the sun basically symbolizes my mom singing us My Little Sunshine or something, whatever that, yeah, My Little Sunshine, that song when we were little. And then in the 1997, that is the year that my brother was born. So it was kind of a tattoo for that. And this one has not faded very well. It hasn't aged very well. It was like originally yellow and orange. And it just, the yellows never fade good in general. But it just, you know, there are some tattoos that just kind of lose style, and this is one of them. I have thought about getting it covered up, like maybe extending my sleeve like back there and covering it with something, or having it just like gone over but like maybe a little bit different of style. But it's not very high on my priority list because I'm not really looking at it, to be honest. I never see it. It's on my back. So again, I don't really care because I have a bunch of other tattoos, but it could definitely look a lot better than it does. We'll see. Even if I do get rid of it or cover it or whatever it may be, I would probably want to do something again for my little brother, but we'll see. It's, like I said, very low on the totem pole of priorities. All right, next tattoo. All right. This one says, fear nothing. It is actually by the same guy that did this. Yeah, years later though. Why I did it again, I don't know, but this time it was in a shop and I paid for it. It's not horribly done. It's fine. He had a very heavy hand and like really dug me out when he was doing that. If any of you guys have a tattoo, like, you know what I mean? It didn't feel great right across my rib. But that one basically stands for, I'm not gonna like give any names away or anything in this, but somebody that had cancer and overcame it and just kind of went through so much, so fear nothing is kind of an ode to that. That's kind of as deep into that one as I will go. Next one, it's kind of a similar story. So this one is a phoenix. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I'll try to put a picture up on the screen of it just because I know it's like kind of hard to see. So this one is kind of a similar story to the Fear Nothing tattoo. Phoenixes basically symbolize rebirth, like death and rebirth. So I had somebody that I knew pass away. That's kind of as deep as I'll go into that as well, but rebirth, kind of rising from the ashes. So in this one I got done actually by Mikey Sarosco, and he actually works for Kat Von D. I think she's closing down her tattoo shop, which was like Electric something in LA, but this guy ended up working for Kat Von D for a long time until her shop is basically closing, if it hasn't already closed. I didn't get it actually tattooed at that shop. I got it from him before he started working for Kat Von D, which I just thought it was really cool that he was that caliber of artist, and my cousin goes to him for like a lot of his tattoos as well. All right, the next one in order, it will be this one. So I did my sleeve in 2 separate parts. Basically, I had a half sleeve for like years, and then I finally, like the year after COVID happened or something, I finished the sleeve. But I started out initially with this part of it. So this is Ganesh. This is the Hindu god of overcoming obstacles, among other things. The story behind this one is honestly like not that deep. I took a religions class in college, and not because I'm very religious, I'm honestly not religious at all, but I was very interested in learning about all the different religions because I just find it very fascinating. I am always very interested in learning about it just because I think like all the deities, all the gods that they have in other religions are like, the stories of them are so interesting, and I just kind of love learning about that stuff. But this one, this really stood out to me, the story of Ganesh. I just found it to be very interesting, so I ended up getting this tattoo, and that was the inspiration for that. This one I probably got done like 6 years ago, and then finally, like about a year or 2 ago, I ended up adding on to my sleeve and completing it. I wanted to stray away from the American traditional style just because, you know, I don't think it would really look great on me for the entirety of my sleeve, and I just wanted to go in a different direction. So I went more realistic and mandala. So I don't really know how to show this very well, but hopefully that's like a good enough view. So this one, I started from the bottom, which was a good choice because it looked more complete to me. I didn't want to start from the top and then just have like a 3/4 sleeve. I felt like that would look weird. So it was 2 sessions, 6 to 8 hours per session, I think. This part I really love. This was done by Justin Hobson, I should mention. It's 2 different artists. So this artist was somebody that was in like Brea, Fullerton area. Did a good job, just not really the style that I wanted, at least like after the fact. So I ended up going to somebody else who I did my last 2 tattoos from. This is from Justin Hobson at Dana Point Tattoo. I think in one of my other vlogs I'm actually going to get this tattoo and touch this up. But basically this is his work, and my favorite part about it is that it comes to a point. I was kind of going back and forth whether I wanted to just do a straight cutoff or an angled one, and we were just like, well, let's do a pointed one because we can always turn it into straight if you don't like it. But I'm really glad that I did something like this because it's not like unique or anything by any means, but it's a lot less common than just the flat cutoff of a sleeve. So I really like this one. This is by far my favorite tattoo. It's just my arm. And we ended up leaving this blank, and I at first kind of hated it, and then I kind of grew on me, and I didn't want to fill it when I ended up getting the touch up, just because like when I am working out a little bit, you can still see like my little bicep muscles. Not right now because I'm not in the best shape, but that's kind of why I like that. And then you know, like people ask me all the time like, oh my god, did it hurt, like the elbow? Honestly, for me, the part that hurt the most was like the underneath forearm area. Even that was, I would say, only like a 6 out of 10, but like this part on the inside of your elbow and the outside of my elbow, like to me didn't hurt at all. I don't know. Everybody has different pain tolerances though, so I don't know. And my final tattoo, that one is the one that I was going to go get in my last vlog. So this one is done by that same artist, Justin Hobson. You can kind of see, I'm trying to be appropriate with what I show you guys. So this is a death moth. The inspiration on this one, there's really not a great story behind this one. Like, I just always wanted like a little sternum piece for underneath this part. Got cut off there. But like I was saying, there really wasn't too much of like a deeper story to this one. Honestly, I just had always wanted kind of like an under the chest on the sternum tattoo. So I was kind of just looking at images, and a lot of girls have like butterflies and like vines and flowers. So I kind of was like, all right, I'm not too much of a butterfly gal. I don't like so much of the dainty look, so I was like, you know what, these moth ones look really cool. And then I was like, but I don't want just like a regular moth. How do we make this like less dainty, less girly? Because I can be girly, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just feel like tattoos on my body, I don't really go the dainty direction. So I was like, how do we make this metal? That's not what I said, but I ended up going with the death moth just because I thought it looked really cool. I will say I have one regret with this. I can't even call it like really regret, just kind of like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. But is the antennas. We actually had completed the tattoo and we were looking at it and we're like, did we forget like antennas? So we're like, okay, and he like drew them on with the stencil and he's like, oh, how do you like that placement? And I was like, cool, sure, perfect, do it. And I did it, and now anytime I'm wearing a top that even like pretty much like this, I'm trying to see in the lens, anytime I'm wearing a top, I just have little antennas sticking up. And sometimes even if like you can't see the skull, it's just like little antennas sticking out. And it's like, I was traumatized for like a week, and I was just like, oh my god, like why did I do this? I need to remove the antennas. They look so stupid sticking out of my bras and my shirts where you can't see anything else. Like, it's just literally antennas sticking out, shaping my boobs, like, you know? But honestly, like, I got over it. It is what it is. It's kind of funny. Like, will I remove it at some point? Maybe. If I bother, I don't know. But, you know, maybe I think I would care a lot more if I wasn't already super tattooed, but because I have a lot of tattoos already, same thing with this, I'm like, to be honest, I don't really give a shit. Who cares? You know, if this was the only one I had, then I would care a lot more. I think I would be a little more traumatized. That's the story. These are all my tattoos. Good, the bad, the ugly. I'm kind of toying with the idea of doing another sleeve and then maybe like some sort of leg piece. I do feel like the leg piece on me would look a little weird though, because I am only like 5'1" and I'm like a little shorter. So I don't know if that would look a little funky on me because I don't have like the length. And as far as the other sleeve, like I'm just like super indecisive about it. I don't know, like, can I say goodbye to my skin on both of my arms? I have like a pretty bad, I don't know if you can see it, a scar right here that I really stupidly got from recording a TikTok video with Katie in the gym. So I'm like, would ink take on that? Would it not? I don't know. Who cares? I guess we can probably go around it, but I just don't really know how I would look with two sleeves. But I don't know. I do sometimes wonder like what I'll look like in a wedding dress all sleeved up. I do think it would look a little bit cool to have two sleeves in like a wedding dress. Not that that's even like anywhere on the near horizon for me, but it's always kind of been a thought in my head. Even when I first got my tattoos, I'm like, how's this gonna look in a wedding dress? And then I just realized I don't give a shit, because whoever I end up with isn't gonna care either. But that's pretty much it for the tattoo tour for now. If I add anything else, I'm sure I will vlog it and post about it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and put the bell notifications on so you know when I post. I'm posting a lot more frequently. And if you have any other questions about any of the tattoos I showed you, anything like that, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer. I'm pretty open. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video.
So better stands this side away.